Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome guys, my name is Fadhilah Hadi and here is my student number. I am from class 4C on Department of English Education in UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. And now I would like to make a video of me retelling story from the novel that I have read before. Actually, I have read at least 10 novels in this semester, but I'm gonna choose one for this video. The title of the novel is Flipped. The author of this novel is Wendelin van Draanen, and here is the cover of the novel. What do you think? I think it's pretty simple, but believe me, once you finish the book or listen to my story retelling well, this cover, this flipped chick will make sense. Alright, before I start retell the story, I'm gonna make a brief explanation to you guys so you can understand the story better. Here is the situation. We can say there is a girl and there is a boy. At first, the girl likes the boy, but the boy doesn't like the girl back. And 6 years pass. Now, the girl stops liking the boy, and wait for it, the boy now likes the girl. And needless to say, our boy and girl here are in for a bumpy ride. Along the way with their family's problems, their self-maturation process, and the growing process of their mindset. The uniqueness of this novel is that the chapters alternate between the perspective of two people, and of course, the perspectives come from the boy and the girl, so we can see two different point of view on each event on this novel. Now, let's jump to the longer version of this novel. So, it begins when Bryce Lasky, he is the boy, moved around Juliana Baker's house, she is the girl. They meet in their second grade, and since day one, Julie always offers to help Bryce with the moving boxes. She also always chases him, and she really wanted to hold his hand and resist to leaving his side. Can you guess the reason why Julie did it? The answer is just because Bryce has beautiful blue eyes and Julie really likes it. Along the way, Julie always demonstrates her enthusiasm for Bryce by befriending him and clinging to him in primary school. Even she's sharing answers with him in 6th grade. We can say she's done everything for Bryce, but Bryce on the other side, plainly not interested. Different from Julie, Bryce always tries to avoid Julie. When 7th grade begins, they share a bus stop. However, Julie always managed to annoy him every morning. It's because she always climbs a massive old sycamore tree nearby the bus stop. Even one day, she climbed to the highest point to rescue Bryce's stuck kite. Bryce also doesn't know why she became so obsessed with that old sycamore tree while rescuing his kite. It looks like she wants to start every day by climbing it. She said she loved the magical feeling on flying in the high branches. But unfortunately, the workers destroy the tree to build a house there. Bereft, Julie tries to reconcile with change. Meanwhile, Bryce is harboring years-long secret. He purposely throws away the gift of fresh eggs that Julie gives to his family weekly. So a few weeks after Julie's sycamore tree cut down, in their 8th grade year, and Julie tries to move on and wanted to visit Bryce's house. But what happened is she catches Bryce pitching the eggs she gave. And maybe you're wondering what eggs it is and where the eggs came from. So, this egg sharing begins in their 5th grade when Julie's successful egg incubation science fair project, and it is resulted in 6 healthy chicks that raised in her backyard. Julie raised the chicks with love, and the chicks grow very well. And when the hens begin laying the following years, Julie starts to sell the eggs to the neighbors, and it happened accidentally. At first, the neighbors see that Julie's egg is so fresh and good, and they really wanted to buy it. While at the same time, she decided to give a dozen of eggs to the Loskis family, and it's for free, because the chance to see Bryce's fine blue eyes at the door once a week is worth it for Julie. But unfortunately, Bryce and his mother decided that they cannot risk salmonella from the eggs. And next, Bryce's father tells him to shut down Julie's generosity with the eggs. And Bryce whims out, however, and instead just telling Julie that his family does not want her eggs. Each week, he intercepts them from Julie and quickly tosses them in the trash. And do you know that he's been doing it in secret for past 2 years? Well, after get caught by Julie, instead of apologetically explaining, he rather tells her that his family fears food poisoning from her dirty backyard. Of course, that makes Julie mortified and angry to him. Julie flees and determined to be done with Bryce. Next, she doesn't want to talk, even meet Bryce anymore after that. And since that time, her view of Bryce has fully changed. She realized that Bryce was not worthy of her. Now, she saw Bryce as a coward and decided to stop liking him. After 6 years, she has a crush on him. But what Bryce said made her think, and she agreed that her backyard is pretty dirty and she thinks she need to fix up that backyard. So Julie decided to tell her parents that she would like to fix up the yard. But what happened is her parents revealed that the house is rented, not owned. But again, they spilled the reason why they cannot afford to buy a home. And it turns out because of the expense of Julie's uncle, who was born with intellectual disability and severe enough to warrant care in a residential facility. Julie shocked because before she doesn't even know that she has an uncle that have intellectual disability, and she cannot believe how her parents can hide this from her for many years. She became so curious about her uncle until one day she accompanied her father to visit her uncle. When she already met her uncle, and at their first meet, she was sad to see her uncle's condition. At the same time, she was also stunned to see the kindness of her father, who had been secretly taking care of her uncle well and passionately. After the ex tragedy, Bryce's family tried to apologize by inviting Julie's family to dinner at the Loskis' house. And fortunately, the dinner went well. They peacefully ate the food that made by Bryce's mother. Although there were some chatter from Bryce's father that made the dinner situation a bit awkward. While in the dinner, Bryce tried to approach Julie to just apologize. But again, Julie refused it. However, when the dinner finished, Julie feeling too mean when she was ignored Bryce's apologies. So, at the end of the dinner, she also apologized to Bryce for ignoring him. But the next day, her attitude towards Bryce hadn't changed because she thought his apology was just a ploy. The next day, Julie digs into the front yard to improve its aesthetic and repair its fence with her own money and with Bryce's grandparents' help. He also the one who makes Bryce want to apologize nicely to Julie. And at school, Bryce jealous at sight of Julie having lunch with another basketball, John. It drives Bryce to action. He takes Julie's hand and tries to kiss her in front of all the lunch attendees. Julie pulls away, of course, deeply embarrassed, and returns to John. She then avoids Bryce and ignores his attempts to call and visit for days. And finally, after trying to apologize to Julie, Bryce understands that he must offer Julie a message more meaningful than a verbal apology. So he makes a plan to apologize to Julie, and after acquiring permission from Julie's parents, can you guess what he's going to do? Yup, he plants a young sycamore tree in Julie's newly improved front yard. Then he cleans up, goes home, and waits. And the final perspective on this novel is Julie's as she decides she is ready to learn more about the true changes Bryce Lasky, which is symbolized by them planting a tree together, a sycamore tree. That's a very sweet ending and different from other teen novels that mostly provide happy ending, but this ending is wonderful. I think that's all about flipped novel. And can you get the meaning of the cover now? I think you get right now. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.